Hey, what is up? AJ here from Fire from Heaven, and here just for another quick sort of tutorial. Basically, it's not gonna take very long. Oh, that's good enough. Uh, Freaky, of course, right when I try to record a video. Um, uh, all this week, I'm basically just gonna be giving examples of intros you can do, and this might not be the only week I do intros, and it's basically all this week I'm gonna do throughout the week, if I have time to record videos, of course. um, Metal intros. I'm basically just gonna give it different examples for ways you can do metal intros. Um, so what I'm gonna kind of do here is I've already pre-recorded some rhythm guitar, and I have just a simple drum track rhythm intro sort of thing, and it's not very long. Um, I'm basically just doing this to give you guys some examples. I know there are some guitarists and members of bands that follow this page, and maybe if you're not even a musician or anything, you're just curious about the ways I kind of do things. Cool. Um, I don't have my screen record on this, so you can't really see what I have on my screen, but I just have one drum track, simple pattern, and two rhythm guitars. I'll play what I have for the rhythm. So, that's kind of. I actually wrote the lead line first, um, but I'm gonna play that part for you. But basically, like for intros in metal, the way it's structured, it's a story. Some metal bands do a lot of the repeating. You know, other bands, it's all everything is different, and it's like one end to the other. Some bands do that. Some bands repeat some parts. Some bands repeat a part but do it slightly differently. Um, there's lots of ways to do it. I prefer sort of the structure that has a little bit of both. So, kind of one end to the other. Just a story starting here and ending here. Not going here and then going back here and then going here and going back here. Constantly go, like, how just uh, some bands repeat choruses a lot. I'm not against that. I like a good chorus. If it's a catchy chorus, I like to hear it several times in the song. um, Metal is a diverse genre. There's a lot of ways to do things. I my Lyrically, I tell stories, so naturally my song structure is going to kind of follow more of a story structure. It's telling a story. So even right here, we start just with the simple, and then it progresses. Adding some notes here and there that weren't in the first part, changing it up a little bit in the rhythm, and kind of how I do things, and then finally I get kind of into the riff. It's just changing up how you're picking, stuff like that, different things you're doing. It's telling a story, and it's building. And this is just the intro. So, and I'm gonna give several examples of like what you could do just with one drum beat for different intros, even. So I might do that. Um, but some bands fade in, some bands start right away, just in your face. A lot of my songs on my latest album do that. Some, I also like to do orchestral intros and stuff like that. Um, different ways to do an intro, you know. So this isn't the only way. I'm just sharing some ideas for fun. Um, this is kind of sometimes what I do. So yeah. Um, Basically, what I'm calling this type of intro is just simple lead, or like kind of, I don't even know, because the way you could structure this, because of like the more of like a chord type rhythm and lead, that could be sort of like what the chorus is like if I wanted to. So, but it's fairly simple, and I'll play the lead part for you here. Actually, record it just so I have it recorded. Trying to remember how I did it. Okay. I totally butchered that. I gotta restart because I decided to change it up even more when I get into like when the guitars are really going. I decided to start going crazy. Originally, the original recording, it was basically the same, but I'm gonna restart that. Just mess around with it a little bit. There's a lot of directions you can take that after that, and that wasn't even that great a recording, but I'm just gonna do that just for time's sake, so we can re-listen to that if you want. But that's typically where, a lot of metal bands would go into like a lower, chunky kind of riff, like what I was just kind of thinking of. A lot of that chugging sort of thing. But, I could totally do that. And this could totally, you could build an entire song from a simple melody like that. You could set the tone for the entire song, which is something simple like that. The more you write, the better you get at it. But yeah, that's just one idea for a simple intro. And for this week, I'm just gonna focus on intros, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do different intros still with the same sort of drum pattern, or if I'm gonna switch it up. And honestly, I could take this into a series and make several songs from it. I could do this series like several intros this week, and then cover verses next week, and choruses the other week, and then bridges or whatever. I'm gonna do it that way just for fun. So next video, I'm gonna make a completely different intro, different set, different riffs and everything, completely different. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. But I just wanted to do something fun like this where I'm kind of showing you a little bit of how I just kind of do things. Um, so I am just saving this, which I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. If you have any questions, ideas, things you want to learn from me, questions from me, you know, shoot me some questions. I'm trying to do more tutorial type videos like this where I'm showing you a little bit of my world, how I do things. But if you have any questions related, like, anything, any questions for me, let me know. Um, you know, if you're watching this, you're probably on my Facebook page because it's pretty much the only place I'm posting it. I might post it on YouTube and stuff later. But trying to post more stuff where I'm actually creating rather than just sharing memes. That's easy, and you guys, you really engage with it and share them and stuff, but I want to do more, I'm not thinking big enough. That's what I always tell myself. I could go bigger, go deeper, climb higher, whatever you want to call it. I just want to produce more, and doing stuff like this, I'm learning a lot myself, honestly. But hope you enjoyed. Stay metal, stay real.